You might be wondering what commercial law is all about. Commercial law is a broad term for a range of legal services designed to support businesses in making money for their products and services. Furthermore, commercial law is also known as mercantile law or trade law. It is the body of law that applies to the rights, relations, and conduct of persons and businesses engaged in commerce, merchandising, trade, and sales. The purpose of commercial law is to allow commercial activity to meet the demands of the business community. The legal system provides certainty to the process by giving effect to transaction, trade custom, and market prices. Very simply, commercial law enables trade and avoid fraudulent activity, a core feature of a well-functioning and democratic society. This attracts national and international business, which establishes a strong economy. In commercial law, it has branches, and these are the branches of commercial law: companies law, corporate law, corporate governance, competition law, antitrust, consumer protection, contract law, environmental law. The other branches of commercial law will be mentioned by Mr. Mendoza.
Intellectual property law, copyright law, patent law, trademark law, international trade law, labor law, and lastly, insurance law. What is corporate code? The past president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, has made an effort to increase the effectiveness and accessibility of conducting business in the Philippines by passing the revised Corporation Code of the Philippines, RA 11232. The corporation's term is limited to 50 years under the old code unless it is extended. Upon the term's end, it is deemed to have ceased to exist. A corporation should have a permanent existence by default under the new code unless differently stated in the articles of the incorporation. With its progressive rules, the revised Corporation Code encourages inclusive entrepreneurship. It makes it easier to do business in the nation and as a result makes the economy more competitive. It also encourages good corporate governance and strengthens the protection offered to businesses, investors, and other stakeholders. How is corporation created? I will first discuss the private and public corporations. Public corporations are organizations established for a purpose of administering a certain area of the state, as opposed to the public corporations which have their goal to the general good and welfare of the society. Private corporations, however, are those founded for some private purpose, benefit, aim, or end. Now for the creation of corporations. Each incorporator needs to have a stockholder. There should be 1 to 15 incorporators as required by the new law. The idea of one-person company or OPC presently permits one individual. There is no minimum amount of capital stock needed. As a result, anyone can organize a business with any amount of capital stock. And finally, we should take note about the filing of articles of incorporation by bylaws with the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC.
Corporation operate. A corporation is a legally established entity that can enter contracts, loan and borrow money, sue and be sued, hire employees, own assets, and pay taxes. The shareholders of a corporation typically receive 1 vote per share. An election of board of directors was made during an annual meeting. The board hires and oversees the senior management that is responsible for the corporation's daily operations. They accomplish the corporation's business plan. It is said that the members of the board are not personally responsible for the corporation's debts, but they owe a duty of care to the corporation and can incur personal liabilities if they fail to care for this duty. Some tax statutes also provide for personal liabilities of the board of directors. Examples of corporations in tourism and hospitality industry. The first one is Hilton Hotels and Resorts. It is a global brand of full-service hotels and resorts and the flagship brand of American multinational hospitality company Hilton. It was founded by Conrad Hilton and its headquarters in Tysons Corner, Virginia. The next one is Hyatt Hotels Corporation. Hyatt is an American multinational owner, operator, and franchisor of hotels Hotels and Resorts. And the company is based in Hyatt Center in Chicago, Illinois. For the next one is Intercontinental Hotels Group PLC, European company where it is the world's largest hotel group by number of rooms and is headquartered in Denham, United Kingdom. And for the last one is NH Hotel Group, a Spanish-based hotel chain, and it is headquartered in the capital, Madrid. It is one of the world's leading urban hotel groups.
Dissolution. The first step to closing up a shop is receiving shareholder approval to formally close the corporation. The board of directors should adopt a resolution to dissolve the corporation and receive approval for the action. Review the governing statutes and corporate documents for specific details related to your corporation. Winding up. Notify creditors and make payment arrangements for all debts. Close bank accounts and pay federal, state and local taxes along with filing the appropriate returns. Relevant permits should be cancelled along with assumed names. Also, to sell any remaining business property and distribute the appropriate funds to shareholders. And for the last step, termination. The corporation's existence ceases when the winding up phase is complete. A state may require the filing of a document that acknowledges the completion of these various tasks. States may also require a corporation to receive tax clearance as evidence that the corporation is currently filing tax returns and paying amounts due. Partnership. A legal form of business operation between two or more individuals who share management and profits. The federal government recognizes several types of partnerships. Partnerships come in two varieties: general partnerships and limited partnerships. In a general partnership, the partners manage the company and assume responsibility for the partnership's debts and other obligations. A limited partnership has both general and limited partners. The general partners own and operate the business and assume liability for the partnership, while the limited partners serve as investors only. They have no control over the company and are not subject to the same liabilities as the general partners.
According to Article 1767 of the Civil Code, it provides that by a contract of partnership, two or more persons bind themselves to contribute money, property, or industry to a common fund, with the intention of dividing the profits among themselves. Two or more persons may also form a partnership for the exercise of a profession. Under Article 1771, a partnership may be constituted in any form, except where immovable property, all real rights, are contributed, in which case a public instrument shall be necessary. According to the Civil Code of the Philippines, Article number 1784, partnership begins from the moment of execution of the contracts unless it is stipulated by the Article number 1679. Partnership only exists if all partners agree to bind themselves to share their profits, liabilities, rights, and properties. Article number 1776, as to its object, partnership is either universal or particular and refers to its liabilities of partners. Partnership made limited or general based on the Article number 1671. So basically, in universal partnership, all the properties possessed by each partner will be contributed to both ownership and naked ownership, including the profit that they may acquire within the partnership. However, an exemption happens when the properties of the partners acquired by inheritance, legacy, or donations cannot be included in stipulation. Article 1783, particular partnership, has an objective to determine their use of fruit-specific undertaking or exercise a profession or vocation. Moving on, liabilities of general partners are liable to the extent of their separation of properties after the partnership asset has been exhausted, while the liabilities of limited partnership will only be liable up to the extent of his contribution. Furthermore, the essential requisite of partnership here in the Philippines are as follows.
A failed business partnership can be attributed to a number of factors. In general, a partnership dissolution occurs when the partners leave the firm as opposed to the termination or winding up of the partnership. However, dissolution implies to termination, but the process of dissolving a partnership actually begins at the dissolution stage. The partnership will become legally dissolved if a partner resigns or if that partner is expelled from the partnership. Dissolution can also take place in the event of bankruptcy or death of a partner or due to agreement between the two members to dissolve the partnership. An example of this will be a partnership operated at a gambling casino and gambling subsequently became illegal, or a partnership will be considered dissolved. Alternatively, a partner could withdraw and cause the dissolution as well. However, if a partner withdraws in violation of a partnership agreement, he or she may be liable for the damages as a result of the untimely or unauthorized withdrawal. An example of local corporation that has partnership is the new website of tourism, which is the Philippine Travel, with the inclusion of actual travel booking system on the site in partnership with Guide to the Philippines. The Philippine Travel website helps every tourist traveler to shop for their needs. It is known as the one-stop shop. It provides information and allows travelers to make plans for their future travel trip. It is DOT's goal to embed the booking system function into new websites. This partnership will connect DOT accredited tour operators and tourism establishments.
Insurance is a contract whereby one understood for a consideration to identify another against loss, damage, or liability arising from an unknown contingent event. Every corporation, partnership, or association delay authorized to transit insurance business as elsewhere is provided. Into insurance code may be insurer. Anyone except a public enemy may be insured. The insurer is the party who agrees in the academy by another party the happening of specified convenience. The insurer is the party to be indemnified in the case of the loss. The beneficiary is the person who received the benefits of the insurance policy upon its maturity. Insurable interest means in simple terms that someone will experience a financial hardship upon your death who can have an insurable insurance. So who can have an insurable interest? Your family generally qualifies automatically. Your spouse or partner is the most common example of someone you will be considered to have an insurable interest. Second, your children. You also have an insurable interest in your children, but your child does not need to be 18 or older in order for you to purchase a policy on them. Thirdly, other relatives that you may need to show additional documentation to ensure other relatives such as siblings with a disability or an aging parent who relies on you for financial support. You must know that it's essential requirement for issuing an insurance policy that makes the entity or event legal, valid, or protected against internationally harmful acts.
Common types of insurance policies required by tourism operators include commercial general liability, property insurance, and account receivable insurance. CGL insurance can be one of the most important coverage, but unfortunately, it can be also one of the most difficult and expensive to obtain, as it covers operators for liability if an accident occurs, including bodily injury, medical payments, and personal injury. Property insurance provides coverage for the financial risk associated with loss of assets, such as buildings, equipment, and merchandise. Account receivable insurance can cover a large proportion of account receivables if a customer fails to pay due to default or insolvency, thus providing a considerable safeguard to any tourism operation. It provides comprehensive coverage to address the environmental and exposure risk faced by businesses. It covers costs related to third-party bodily injury and property damage, legal costs, and cleanup costs.
Now, let us talk about what is travel insurance. Travel insurance is coverage designed to protect against risks and financial losses that could happen while we're traveling. The risks range from minor inconveniences such as missed airline connections and delayed luggage all the way to more serious issues including injuries or major illness. It is like the other insurance that we have here. The travel insurance is one of the policies that really helpful to us travelers because it helps ease our financial burden they might incur because of specific unforeseeable situations. The coverage of this travel insurance are problems that we might face in our journey. For example, cancellation of flights or delayed flights and loss of baggage also, and if we have some serious injuries or illness that happens while we are traveling. So in general, it is absolutely vital that you have the suitable insurance in place to protect you and your family while traveling. Now, let us talk about all-inclusive travel insurance, or what are the benefits of travel insurance. Again, it is to protect the traveler against risks and financial losses that could happen while traveling. All-inclusive travel insurance has three kinds of insurance. Number 1, medical insurance. It helps cover the cost of many emergency medical treatments during a trip. If you're traveling and have an unexpected illness, medical conditions, or injury that covered by your travel medical insurance, you typically will be reimbursed up to the plan limits. This insurance, it is not for health insurance. It is for emergency medical coverage only. For example, medical transportation, medical prescription, or lab tests. Number 2, cancellation insurance. It will reimburse you for the amount of prepaid or non-refundable travel expenses. It is often sold as optional coverage to a base travel insurance policy. If you can't travel because unexpected event might happen, it is one of the rules to cancel and reimburse your trip. Number 3, luggage insurance. It may cover theft, loss, delay, or the damage to personal items during a trip. It is not just for flights but also for other kinds of transportation, and it covers your whole trip. And as with the baggage delay, it allows you to purchase essential items that you need for your personal comfort while you're waiting for your bags to arrive. The other one is typically only available on the outbound part of the trip. These insurance are all covered to protect and prevent future financial losses for travelers.